Our healing is tied to the healing of the land, and that's a motivation of why we're doing what we're doing. Mhm. The Spokane tribe was food sovereign since time immemorial. We lived on the land, and we made a yearly cycle following the food and knowing the foods and being in relationship with the foods, because we know our foods are out there and wanting us to be visiting them. Spokane Tribal Network, even before we were funded to do food sovereignty, we did a lot of food work. They had a real focus on community wellness, and so we recognized that that food is a positive force to bring people together around. That food is important, and anytime you're going to ask people to come together, you should have some sustenance.
And my uncle used to say, we set fire to the fields because we need ash in the soil. So you made it by burning, setting the fire.
To bring this soil and this fruitation back, you have to burn it. You have to scar it. The cultural side of fire is something we have to understand as a whole, as a tribe. And I think we've got away from that so much that is forgotten. I used to burn with my folks. Grandma and it would burn around the house, and Grandpa and older kids would burn up around the ranch there every year, twice a year. People today are taught not to burn because you'll destroy things, material things. But we're not talking material things, we're talking survival. Mother Earth is given to us to maintain. The part of land that she was given, the fire was used to preserve that. Her values. And I think that's where we lost that. We've lost it.
It isn't just something they went out and did like we do now, where they're like, we need to go and do some burns. It was a part of life. So it was kind of like, we're managing this for wildlife, we're managing thinning this for our village sites, we're gonna be managing this for trails. And so all we can do is take the knowledge we have to be able to apply it on the ground and do something, like pretty much take back that control that we've always had. And that relationship with our ecosystems.
So yeah, Sam's quarters. And this came post-burn, so that was interesting. That the cultural burn awakened whatever was in the ground that let that grow.
Food sovereignty, it seems like it's kind of a new word. Like it wasn't a thing because it was just what we did. We want to be self-reliant as a tribe, and so we're kind of trying to get back to that. Bringing back the knowledge around food and traditional food will pave the way for the rest of our culture.
The tribal community is able to just come down there and help whenever they want. So I think that's what's really cool about it, is kind of like a community event to be able to come together and start talking and just identifying plants and laughing around. I just think the shared learning together is one of the hugest benefits, and then the relationship building.
Food being the way to bring us together around something positive and good and nourishing is a great motivator to stay in this path. Really good medicine for a lot of stuff, and we're getting seeds on there, so hopefully we'll get more. There's the Grindelia, which if you touch one of the flowers, you'll see it's sticky underneath there. It's good lung medicine. It grows really, like the bush will get this big over on the other side of the state. We're not sure what it's gonna do over here. That one we think is blue vervain, we think. And then Jessie Ray planted something between those two rocks there, but I forget what she said it was, and it's not popping up yet, so we're hoping for the best.
I'm a Spokane Indian, but again, I have to say, in my time, whatever we done, there was always a lesson behind it. You go over there and burn because it helps next year's huckleberries when you burn the right time of the year.
It's really important for our tribal youth to know that their voice is being heard, that they have a say in the way that their ancestral homelands are being managed.
I've been kind of fighting the system for a while that we need to go back to the old ways. Our goal is to maybe have 100 of these and do the same thing every year.
Our knowledge is here. It's collectively held and it's place-based. When we're able to come together, it increases in its wholeness. So the knowledge is here. We just have to be paying attention and listening for it.
This is the starting point, the beginning of a long journey back. We can't do it without food. And I feel like the longer we go, the pieces will start falling into place, and in a decade we'll look back and we'll say this is where it started. you.